And welcome to the last part of our video about functions in programming and Python programming. Let's start with local and global variables. So the local and global variables has the concepts of like two things. So the local one is variable is created inside a function and cannot be accessed by statements that are outside the functions, whereas the global variable is accessible to all the functions in a program file. As a local one cannot be accessed by other functions, but the global one can be accessed by any function of the programs. Different functions can have local variables with the same name because the functions cannot see each other local variables. So we can use the same name in the different functions, and we can put different values, and the other function cannot see the value or assign these values. Let's see an example to clarify our concepts. So over here we have a program. It's called create a global variable. So we create a global variable without any function, without any main functions. So just I put my value is 10. Now over here I will call two functions, show value 1 and show value 2. So when I call the show value 1, it goes back to this function, and I have a local variable called a equals to 15. I can put anything over here, whatever you like. And then I will print the local variable of show value 1 is a, and the global variable is my value. So over here it should print 15 over here and 10 from the global one over here. And when I call the show value 2, okay, then I will call the function over here show value 2, and I can again assign the same name of the local variable over here. Over here a and a both are same name as a variable, right? But I put 2000 over here. 2000, I have inserted 2000 in this variable. Now I'll print this variable a and also global variable. Let's see how it goes. So I just copy again, go back to our code lines, paste it, and now run. F5, run the program. Let's see how it works. So the first one, the local variable is 15, as I put 15 over here. And then the global variable is 10. I just put 10 over there. The local variable shows 2000, yeah, and for the show value 2, and I put my value over here as a 10. Okay, so the global variable is not changing, right? Maybe I can try to change the values over here. Let's see my global variable is changing or not. I put my value as a local variable, same name, my value, and I want to change. Before it was 10, I want to put maybe 30. Okay, let's see how it works. I just put fn, then 5. Yep. Okay, now look over here what happens. So this is my global variable, my value 10. Now I have assigned 30 on show value 1. Now when I'm going to print, it's printing 30. Okay, but when I print over here, my value is taking the value from the global variable. Even I change the value over here, it doesn't care, right? Even I change the value of a over here, it doesn't care. Whatever is inside this one, it will get. So if it doesn't see any local variable stated with my value, it will look for the global variable. Okay, but if I have something local variable the same name, it will first look for the local variable. Is it my value is a local variable? If it's local variable, it will print the local variable. But if it doesn't have the local variable like name my value, it will print the global variable. Okay, so it means global means I can use for any program or any functions in this code, in this variable, and it will print 10. So look at the show value 2. This my value looks for the local variable. It's nothing over there, so it will print from the global one. Everyone clear with this one? Any question? All right, guys, let's go back to this one. The next slide we have about global variables and global constraint. Sometimes we need the global variables to specify our program. I don't want to change at all. Maybe the interest rate of the bank, I don't want to change, so I can make it as global variable. So in different parts of our program, it will not change. But normally, we always encourage people not to use global variables. Sometimes it may cause confusion. So it restricts the use of global variables for the following reason. Global variables may make debugging difficult, so we cannot find where is the issue. It's better to use the local variables. Functions that use global variables are usually dependent on those variables. And global variables make a program hard to understand. Sometimes people get confused, like where this 10 or 30 is coming from. Instead of global variable, you can use the local variable. Sometimes, in the bank or other institution, they don't want to change the interest rate, or they don't want to change the specification in different function. So they just give a global variable, so no one can change the in different function. So if many people are working in one program, so they're working with different function, they can use the same rate. I don't have to change in all the functions. The last one is saying about the global constant. So when I say the global variable is constant for all of the functions, we can call it as a global constant. So the global constant is a global name that references a value that cannot be changed during the program execution. So I'm calling this one, and I'm maybe the bank head of the team of the bank programming software developer. I'm the head of the developer team, and I'm saying that the interest rate cannot be changed, and it will be a global constant for the whole program. So I can decide and say this is a global constant. Okay, nothing to worry about much about this. So this is the concept of local and global variable, and we can go back to the slide. A local variable is created inside a function and cannot be accessed by statements that are outside the function, and the different function can have local variables with the same name because the function cannot see each other's local, right? So same thing, I can use the same name A and A over here. It doesn't matter what the value I'm putting over here. So this function will see 15 as a value of the A variable, and this function will look 2000 as a variable for A. And that's it. Any question so far on chapter 5? Okay, so we can send a message, you can give us a call each other, or you can talk about it if you have any more questions. So I will stop the recording over here.